Daily rain shower and thunderstorm opportunities within this next week. So gear up for, well, a very active weather pattern. And today will be nice, hot and sticky outside. We're talking about temperatures right now already reaching 80 degrees here across North Texas. And of course, the dew point temperature, or the measure of the moisture content in the atmosphere, is in the 70s as well. This is leading to relative humidity levels very high at this current moment, around 76%. So not going to be the best hair day, but also looking for the potential of severe weather as we continue into this afternoon. I want to talk about what to expect forecast wise, and we'll go ahead and talk about it right here, right now. You can start to see all of the cloud cover that's happening here across North Texas. We have a decent cloud deck ahead of us, and so more showers will be possible. Maybe a pop-up sprinkle or two through the morning into the early afternoon, but it's later on today when we're expecting all of the stronger stuff to pop up if we do see any storms. What you're looking at is all of the green that's showing you what's happening here. A low-level jet is actually pumping in a decent amount of moisture content here across North Texas, and it's coming from the Gulf, and that jet keeps things very windy. It's a jet stream at the surface, so it brings a ton of moisture from the Gulf and hikes up those winds. That's why we're going to be looking at winds anywhere from 35 to 40 mile-per-hour wind gusts today. So just keep that in mind as we do make our way into the afternoon hours. We have a first alert weather day in effect today and in effect tomorrow. Strong to severe thunderstorms will be in the forecast. We're talking about the main threats being large hail and damaging winds, but instances of flooding will also be probable. Let's start with today's threat. Level 1 out of 5 will include the Metroplex, stretching up to the north along the Red River Valley and off towards the west, including Comanche, Stephenville, Mineral Wells, and Breckenridge. In the level 2 out of 5 threat, scattered potential for strong to severe thunderstorms is just a little bit higher threat over towards Bowie, Bridgeport, and Graham. If you live in those spots, again, keep your eye to the sky. We're talking late afternoon through the evening is when, if any of this activity does flare up. It's a conditional threat today. What I mean by that is, well, the conditions of the atmosphere are going to be heavily dependent on if we see a storm versus if we don't see any storms. So if we take a look at this forecast, it's the dew point temperature, and you can see where that dry line is set up. That's that orange line I have drawn into far west Texas. That is going to continue to move to the west through the east, I should say, through the day today. Notice in the brown shades in Odessa and Lubbock, that's extremely low dew point temperatures. So dry conditions and high fire danger into those spots. But ahead of this dry line, we're talking dew point temperatures in the upper 60s into the afternoon. That's a lot of moisture content to fuel thunderstorms, and we could even see some kickoff ahead of this dry line around our 5 p.m. hours. So that's why our northwestern counties have that potential for severe weather a little bit later on. If some of these storms do get going, they could actually impact us by later on tonight. Now let's talk about tomorrow's threat. We have a cold frontal system that'll be swinging through, and tomorrow we have another first alert weather day, but it's for a different type of storm system. This one, the probability of strong thunderstorms is going to be a little bit higher. We're looking at a 2 out of 5 threat from the Storm Prediction Center, and included in this risk is going to be heavy downpours, and likely all of us will see rain moving into the day tomorrow. As the HRRR model, I do think it might be overdoing it a little bit, but it gives us a general depiction of what we could expect as we work our way into the day tomorrow. Again, northwestern counties starting in the late morning through the early afternoon, anticipating the strongest weather in your area. Then around 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., strongest weather across the Metroplex. After 5, everything shifts south of I-20 and east of I-35. But notice lingering showers will continue even as we make our way into Wednesday. That's all thanks to a stalled cold frontal system that'll just kind of hang out across the region. Let's talk about severe weather risk. At 10 to 2, our far northwestern counties, anywhere from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., the Metroplex and areas to the east and south of the Metroplex, and then very far eastern counties into East Texas, 4 to 10 p.m. is that time frame for the strongest weather. Again, this is just an idea on when to expect all of the thunderstorms to develop, but it does give us a clear image of what to anticipate moving into the day tomorrow. So just make sure you are staying tuned to the forecast and keeping your eye to the sky. I was talking about that level 2 risk, and notice it includes all of North Texas shaded in yellow. That's level 2 out of 5, a slight chance for the confidence being fairly high for at least scattered strong to severe thunderstorm development. If some of these storms don't meet severe criteria, they will definitely lead to the potential for some flooding concerns. Now the good news is we have drought-stricken grounds out into our eastern counties, and more heavy rain is going to help with that ongoing drought. We'll talk about that in a minute. But look at this. Over the next 7 to 10 days, pretty much daily opportunities of shower and thunderstorm development will be likely. Tomorrow, it's due to a cold front. Then Wednesday, stalled frontal system still continues to hang out into Thursday, and then more disturbances in the upper levels of the atmosphere will swing through, providing us an additional risk through the next 10 days. So keep that umbrella handy. Over the next 7 days, our forecast models are spitting out anywhere from 1 to 2 inches across the Metroplex and to the north along the Red River Valley. Great news there. Likely will be drought busting for those of us who are still in an ongoing drought. I know a good chunk of the Metroplex is now out of the drought. We'll talk about that next slide. 2.5 to 5 inches of accumulation anywhere into Dallas County south and east of it. That's incredible amounts of rainfall over a week time span. So some interesting news. We're going to continue to watch this. Further drought improvements will definitely be likely, especially in the yellow shaded areas. Those are just abnormally dry conditions. So in Cleburne over towards McKinney and areas along the Red River Valley, that's where it's the lowest level of drought, but we need the rainfall into those spots. Now where the highest drought is taking place is over towards Tyler, Mineola, into Texarkana, and the brighter reds. That's where we desperately need the rainfall. But notice, as I show you our forecast totals again, all of the rain is pretty much east, and that's where the ongoing drought is. So the good news is we're probably going to see further improvements to this drought monitor in the next 7 days. So it'll be interesting what our drought monitor looks like next week and the next week. So it cuts off on Tuesday. So tomorrow's rain totals will be into this Thursday's update, but the next Thursday is when we'll really see further improvements, especially for our eastern counties. Let's talk about right now, Clyde Warren Park, 80 degrees. Dew point temperatures at 70 degrees, which again is the moisture content in the atmosphere. When we see the dew point and the actual temperature close together, means that the relative humidity levels are very high, and it looks a little soupy outside. You could definitely see the moisture in the air, and a lot of people are feeling it this morning. I know I am, not having the best hair day, but that's going to be a key factor in today's severe weather risk. Winds out from the south sustained at 15 miles per hour. They are likely gusting higher, especially in areas out of the Metroplex, seeing wind gusts upwards of 35 to even 40 miles per hour today. Temperatures climbing into the middle 80s by lunchtime, but look at the temperature next to it. It says 92. That's the heat index value. So yes, we'll be in the middle 80s, but it'll feel more like the low 90s. 3 p.m. 89 and 4 p.m. is going to be around 90 degrees. So the actual temperature will feel more like 97 if the kiddos are out playing in the yard. Maybe they're doing sports after school or just in the afternoon. Make sure they're drinking plenty of water. It may trick some people, even though it looks like the low 90s, it'll feel like the triple digits in some spots. Today, first alert weather day. Again, not a guarantee we'll see storms, but the probability is there, especially into the late afternoon through the evening hours. Moving into Tuesday, another first alert weather day, but this time it's thanks to a cold front that'll swing through, pop up some scattered strong thunderstorms, and move from the northwest to the southeast. Temperatures tomorrow will be around 76 degrees, nice and sticky in the morning, but look at the high, 84. How hot we get tomorrow is based on the timing of this frontal system. If it's a little bit slower, temperatures will be a little higher. If it's faster, temperatures will be a little bit lower. So tomorrow's temperature, just gear up for 80s, and then into Wednesday, temperatures will be on the decline once that frontal system swings through, ushers in a cooler air mass. We're in the low 80s and in the middle 60s when you wake up. We'll see rainfall still being consistent thanks to that frontal system just stalling out. Into Thursday, we'll hold on to shower opportunities with a high temperature of 79 degrees. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday still hanging on to a chance for some rainfall. So if you have any plans for this Memorial Day weekend, make sure you're planning ahead and have maybe a plan B, somewhere indoors to go to. If you're headed out on the boat, just remember, if you're seeing lightning outside or you're hearing thunder, you need to make sure you get off the boat and go indoors. Okay, we're taking a look at the satellite radar data. Not too much activity happening outside, just seeing some cloud cover here across North Texas. We have a low-level jet today. It's pumping in a decent amount of moisture and it's making the winds gust upwards of 30 to even 40 miles per hour at times. We'll continue to see some gusty conditions, and of course, because of this southerly flow, it's pumping in the moisture, and that's going to play into today's severe weather risk. First alert weather day is in store for you today. We have strong severe thunderstorm potential, and with these storms we could see large hail, damaging winds, and that's going to be the case tomorrow. Another first alert weather day is in store for you due to a cold frontal system that'll move from the northwest to the southeast. Severe threat today. Again, it's conditional. That doesn't guarantee we'll even see rainfall or a thunderstorm. It just means if the atmospheric conditions allow for the development of a severe thunderstorm or of a thunderstorm, it could turn severe. Level 1 out of 5 threat includes Dallas, Fort Worth, McKinney, Paris, down to Comanche. Level 2 out of 5 threat, Bowie, Graham, Bridgeport. Here's a look at the dry line. Ahead of the dry line, lots of moisture to work with in the atmosphere. Behind it, it is exceptionally dry. Look at this, 5 p.m. dry line starts initiating thunderstorms. They will move to the east through the evening hours, maybe even a cluster of cells developing into that 10 p.m. hour for our very far northwestern counties, maybe holding on to an isolated threat of a thunderstorm into the metroplex by later on tonight. Tomorrow's risk will be due to a cold frontal system swinging through, providing the chance for more severe weather. Look at 5 p.m. Your afternoon commute, likely seeing some really hefty downpours across the metroplex and south of the I-20 and 30 corridor. Then front stalls out. Wednesday, more rain will be felt. Severe weather Tuesday, timing of it 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for our northwestern counties, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. across the metroplex, and 4 to 10 for areas south and east of the metroplex tomorrow. Now, it will be impactful weather likely tomorrow because we have a level 2 out of 5 threat and pretty much the guarantee for some rainfall, I think I'm safe to say. 2 out of 5 threat means scattered strong to severe thunderstorms. The likelihood is definitely probable anywhere across North Texas. We do have opportunities of rain and thunderstorms over the next 10 days. That includes this weekend and Memorial Day. So just a heads up, we will be continuing to keep an eye out for really hefty downpours. Good news is 1 to 2 inches will be felt anywhere across North Texas. 2 to 5 inches of rainfall anywhere shaded in red or yellow. That's for areas to the east and south of Dallas County. And those are the areas that need it the most. Those are the areas under drought-stricken regions. So the good news is maybe drought-busting rains will be in the forecast. Clyde Warren Park, 80 degrees. Dew point temperature is at 70 and winds from the south around 15 miles per hour. It'll be gusty through the rest of the day today. Winds coming from the south gusting upwards of 35 to even 40 miles per hour. And of course, we'll hold on to the moisture content. So when temperatures climb into the low 90s around 4 p.m., it'll feel more like the upper 90s. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water if you're headed out and about this afternoon. First alert weather day tomorrow due to a cold frontal system. Then more storms will be anticipated through the rest of this week and into the weekend. Again, keep that umbrella handy and gear up for a little bit of a cool down. We're talking cooler temperatures by midweek. Thank you so much for joining us here on our live stream. We'll be sure to keep you updated with all of the severe weather updates and all the rainfall updates as well. Make sure you tune in later on today. We have our live stream coverage, and of course we'll be on air at 11 a.m. on CBS 11. Thank you so much for joining us here at CBS News Texas. I hope everybody has a fabulous Monday.